the hardest things about when you have a challenge group and not having that prep week is people struggle with like how to start. So we've created an email that we're going to use to send people, and it's really long, but it gives them everything that they need to prep and all that. And so we can share that with you guys on the team page of our template essentially, and you can just plug your things in, or take some things out and just modify it a bit.
And that way, any part of the month, you can just throw people in there. So it doesn't matter if it's day 1 or day 28. You can throw people in there and they can get started the same. All right. Yeah. Super weekend is this weekend. When is yours, Brenna? Do you guys have it Sunday again?
Yes.
Yeah. Ours is Friday night. So a bunch of us are going up to Minneapolis Friday, leaving work early. Woo!
You get Jericho.
You get Jericho and DJ Jesse. Woo!
We're so jealous.
Yeah, so we're going up. There's food trucks first, and then we're doing it's only 2 hours, so quick event, and then we're staying overnight and headed back Saturday. So for anyone who's not been to a Super Saturday, they are super duper important and so much fun. So they're 4 times a year, and there's locations all around the United States. So no matter where you live, there's going to be an event close to you somewhere. We usually have to drive like 3 or 4 hours to get to a cool one, but they're just so much fun. There's usually coach speakers who give their story that's super inspiring. Then you do a live workout, which is super fun. You hear about the upcoming programs and products that are going to be released. So anytime there's a live event, you just definitely want to make it a priority, because people are really drawn to that. So they see you at these live events and they're like, oh, this is a legit thing, and more than just you do this. It's not just you in your basement. It's you and a bunch of people. So it's a really good thing to do in your stories. And just kind of post about too. So if you can't make it to this one, I don't know the weekend in October. Do you know, Brenna?
Mm-mm.
So we'll have to look that up, but put that one on your calendar so you don't miss it, because it's a good one to do. And I think that's really all that I have coming up on my calendar. Anything else that you can add, Brenna?
No. I do want to get into the habit of like putting a calendar on the team page, even if it's like, because Kim and I are limited for time, even if it's a printout one that we wrote on and took a picture of.
Yeah.
We can't do pretty pick monkey stuff.
In my other team page, like I just literally typed it out. It was not pretty.
Yeah.
Because I'm not good at that. So we definitely should do that. So we'll plan to keep doing team calls every other Tuesday night. That's kind of our plan for now. And then Good Vibe Tribe calls are every Monday night. All right. So Summit, we just kind of wanted to, you've seen some of the girls from my team who have been there have popped in the team page to give their feedback on Summit and why they loved it. And I have loved watching those videos. It's so awesome just to hear everyone's experience, and I couldn't agree more. So we're just going to add what we thought of it and just kind of our takeaways from some of the speakers. Brenna, you want to go? I've been talking enough.
Sure. No, it's all good. It's funny because like when we scheduled this call, I was like, yeah, I'm going to have so much to talk about because I came off on such a high at Summit, and I still do have that high. But I kind of like word vomited it to you guys like in a live video a few days ago. But knowing I'm new to some of you guys, I don't necessarily know how far some of you are in your coaching business. So I'm going to pretend like we're kind of at square one in a way. And the reason I say that is because I shared with Kim's team that was at Summit. I've been coaching for 2.5 years, and I took my foot off the gas for a while. And Summit was exactly what I needed to be like, all right, snap out of it, get your shiz together and get going. And there was just a lot of things that I thought, man, I wish I would have done that from the beginning, because now they're habits that I essentially have to break in the coaching business. And Kim's going to be like so happy about this one. But the biggest thing, Rachel Hollis kept talking about comparison. And I realized and basically they say comparison is the thief of joy. And I realized that that's all I do is compare myself to others. And I say, oh, like I'm constantly looking at their life and wishing I was there, or I'm not good enough, or I'm not as good as them. And I'm like, where is all this coming from? I follow these guys, and I had to, I was so sucked into their lives and what they were doing. And all it would do is, it was it was a form of entertainment, but it made me compare myself. And then that just beats you down. And you just, in this business, you cannot do that. And one of the things that I always have to remind myself is when I'm in those places where I'm playing that comparison game, I'm like, Brenna, you guys have to remember that there are people looking at you the same way that you are looking at those people that you idolize. Like that your cold market that you don't even know, or your really close friends, they're looking at you and saying, man, I wish I could take pictures like that. I wish I, had the guts to post something like that. So you just always have to realize that. So yeah, unfollow all those coaches, maybe keep, like I still follow Kim and Ashley, but don't get sucked into all of the top coaches and all of that, because it's just a distraction. It is 100% a distraction. That was literally my biggest takeaway. And I unfollowed people the night of Summit, and I was just like, I came back. And I feel so much more focused. And then two other things that are kind of basic things. This is kind of silly and it's very basic, but Emily Farver, whatever her last name is, and Ashley Molstad, the top coach, we're talking about like creating a brand around yourself, which I feel like I have. But one thing that really helped is write down 5 things that make you you, and use those as your brand and as to post about and have people relate to. For example, mine, I've suffered with anxiety and depression, and that's something that's very relatable with people. I'm a mom to a daughter. I have a husband that, I'm a working mom. Those sorts of things that make you you, and focus on those. Not a lot to get up on that or to go into that. It's pretty plain and simple. And then lastly, the other like key takeaway, and I have other things too I can add, Kim. I'm just trying not to talk forever. Get up early. There's no other time to do it. If you are serious about it, get out of bed early. Like there's just no, Kim and I have been focusing on that more because we were in a really negative space and had a lot of excuses. And finally I was just like, the only time I'm going to be able to get it done is in the morning. So I'm getting up earlier. I get my workout done, and I have about an hour from when I have to start getting ready for work. And I crank out so much in that hour, and I get the things done that are going to build my business, which are the invites, the follow-ups, the hey girls, if that's what you want to call them. Just get up early. Like it sucks, but it sucks worse living a life that I'm not happy with or unfulfilled with. So I have some other things like random stuff, but Kim, you go ahead.
I don't know if I have as many like overview things, but I'm going to do my best. So number one thing, like another thing that Ashley Molstad and Emily Faber talked about was like telling your story in detail, which I wish I had those posts. Did you save those like pictures that they had?
No, I didn't.
But they showed us because they showed us like 2 different ways you can tell your story, because this is very much in this business, a huge part of it is telling your story. That's what pulls people in. That's what allows people to see themselves in like a part of your story. And that's what makes them be like, well, maybe if this worked for her, it can work for me too. So storytelling is a huge part of it. But they showed that. So like Emily Faber grew up as a foster child, and she grew up in a lot of homes, and she's like, I could have just said like, I grew up as a foster child and I had a very rough experience, and I can't remember like but it was like a basic, but I'm like, yeah, that's her story. Like that's how I feel like I'm writing right now. And then she said, but instead I said, I was in my second house sitting on my mermaid bed, like she like went into detail and described like exactly how she felt in that moment, where I don't even remember the point of the post, but she like, I feel like I'm telling my story and I'm talking about like infertility and my miscarriage but I'm not like getting into detail. And that's what really draws people in. So that to me meant a lot. Like, don't just like, we just need to dig deeper into our story and really allow people to feel it. And that's when they're going to really relate to you and want to join you. So you have to get their emotions involved into it. So I really liked that about theirs. The other thing, pretty much every single coach that got up there and talked all looked at the like nosebleed section and was like, I used to be up, I was there too. And then now I'm here, and why can't you be? And that hit me every single time. It's just like, you can only just imagine. And some of them showed pictures, and it was like, it's fun to see their transformation too. And like, just the confidence they've gotten over the years since they have been coaching, and that any one of us can do it. All you just have to put your head down and go to work. And like Brenna said, just quit comparing yourself, because that's what we all do for sure. The other thing that really hit me the hardest, I think, is that everyone goes through hard in this business. This business is not easy for anybody. There's all these, and before I went, I feel like I was just in a really tough spot these last few months. Just my excuses were all over me. And then I had a lot of obstacles, and I just felt like, how can I do this? Like, I work full time. I have a child that doesn't sleep. He goes to bed at 10. Like, I have no time at night to do this. I'm exhausted because I'm pregnant, and it's really hard to wake up early. Just like all these things. I feel like I was just telling myself all these things of why it can't work. And then they caught all of them were like, the hard is part of the process. That's part of making you who you need to be a top coach, to be big in this business. Because if you don't go through hard, how are you going to lead a team? How are you going to help anybody else? Because every single person on your team is going to come into hard, and you have to be able to have a story to help them as well. So the hard is part of it. And it's also just like making you who you need to be for the life that you really want. So that really spoke to me, because I'm like, yeah, that's what I should be feeling. This is exactly where I need to be. And that's what I have to push through. That's what they all push through. And so if I want this to work, which I do, then I have to push through those things too. So that part really spoke to me as well. I think those were like my biggest thing. The other thing is, I just like, for me, just being there and being in the environment, and how much I love every single minute of it. And I just couldn't soak in enough. And like, this is just where I belong. Like I take my notes back, and I actually like go over them again and like implement them. I go to all my dermatology conferences, and I have these huge things of books, and I go back, and I haven't opened a single one of them every time I come back. Like, it's just like, I just know this is where I belong. This is where my passion is. This is what drives me. And it just was really good to feel that like I belong here. So that was my biggest thing too.
Yeah. And Kim, I want to touch on the storytelling thing, because actually that is something that I've been trying to think about more and try to do it more. And it's funny because I think there's some coaches that don't do the storytelling, and then there's some that do, but I think there's a lot, and you can create really good relationships when you do. But when you get into those little details to where you're almost painting a picture for the person reading it, it makes you more relatable, and they think, oh my, like, I remember, I'm going to just use an example. Like, I remember when I was trying on my wedding, or, trying on swimsuits for, summertime or whatever, and sitting in the dressing room crying, or when I was getting ready for work, putting on multiple outfits because I didn't feel comfortable in any of them, and just sobbing on the closet or on the floor in my closet. Like, you're painting a picture for them. And I don't know how many times when I have gotten into the details like that, it never fails that I will get a message and be like, you were speaking to me today. So there is so much value in telling that story and just making yourself more relatable.
Yeah, I agree. And I've had some people email me before too and be like, I felt like I could have written that. And that's what you want people to say, because that's when they're going to really connect with you and be like, I need this workout program, or I need this coaching opportunity, because if it's helped you get to where you are, that's where I want to be.
Yeah. Kim, do you just mind if I kind of just randomly talk about a couple things? Yeah. So another thing that I heard, a message that I heard that really stuck with me, is consistency compounds, which we all know that. Like, one of the first books we read as coaches is The Compound Effect, and it's so true. And literally, I just picture it as you're planting seeds. So like, even when you do your Hey Girl, Kim and I were talking about this week. I said, Kim, I feel like I'm throwing, for lack of a better term, poop at a wall and just hoping that it sticks. Cause I'm like, hey girl, like whatever, in my message or whatever. And it's just kind of like, well, I'm throwing it out there and see if anyone responds to it, But at the same time too, that's a seed that you've just planted. And even chances are they're not going to respond. But if they do, they've read your message, like, oh, she knows, she's talking to me. This girl's real. She exists. And you follow up another time, they might ghost you. Or like another thing too is sometimes it hurts you when they don't respond. Guys, you have to realize, think about all the times you checked your phone and you check a message and you forget to mark it as unread, or you just forget to text them back. Like, people do that all the time. They're not ignoring you. It's just, it wasn't a good time, or they forgot to get back to you, or their kid opened it. Do you know how many times I've heard that? Like, my kid was on my phone. So like, just do the work. Just do what they tell you to do because it works. And if I could go back 2 years or whatever from the very beginning, I would have just done that consistently, because the proof, it works. Yeah. And sorry, I know I'm going all over. The other thing I wanted to say, and I wanted to say it earlier when Kim was talking about morning meltdown, if you're not doing morning meltdown, you need to be doing it. It's $50. Is it even 50? I think it's like 37.
Get the pro. If you don't get the printed stuff, it's like 37. Yeah.
Oh yeah, true. 50 to get the printed materials. But guys, everybody's going to be doing this. I'm sure Kim has given this spiel that Beachbody spends all this money on all this advertising. You want to do it. The other thing is, you want to go all in. All in. Last year at this time, I went all in on Lift for, like, literally did not cheat, did not anything. And my husband did it with me. Within like a month after the program, I went 1 star, because I just had so much success from it. People were watching and I felt freaking incredible. It was just like, it was a challenge, So that's going to be my goal, is to go all in, just because I haven't been the greatest on my nutrition lately. And I'm like, it's fun to do these sorts of things. And not only is it fun, but it does so much for your business. So
yeah, I can go. That's the same with me and Transform 20. I went 100% all in, and people can just feel it. They can see it. They can feel it. And post your actual weekly transformation every single week, that like people watch for that. They do. They want to see what kind of progress you made each week. And when you have to take a picture and you're going to post it again that week, like, it helps so much to stick with what you're doing. But people can feel that energy and they all want to join you. Which program was it? Transform 20. That was the one too, where I got Brandon to go diamond, because people could just feel I was going all in and they were ready for that one too. So it makes a huge difference. When you're on track with your health and fitness, so is your business. It goes hand in hand. One thing, Melanie Mitro, so she talked, I think that was the first night that we were there, Melanie Mitro talked, and one of the first things she talked about was not determining your worth by titles, which I felt really spoke to me too, because she's like, you don't want to, like, so many of us will be like, well, I'm going to be fulfilled when I hit diamond. I'm going to be fulfilled when I hit 2-star and can open my second business center. I'm going to be fulfilled when I hit 5-star. Like, we all have these ranks. Or I'm going to be fulfilled when I hit $1,000 a week, or be a top 10 coach, like whatever it is. We have this picture in our head, and then, but we're just never, I'm trying to think of how I want to say it, but you can't do that, because you won't enjoy the process of getting there. Then you're so focused on that goal that anything before there, you can't even be happy with yourself. And then you lose the joy and you lose why you're even in this. So one thing that I've just learned and I'm trying to do better at is celebrating every step of the way, celebrating every customer that signs up with you, celebrating every time you hit Success Club, celebrating anytime someone likes interested in info, like whatever it is, but always celebrating everything along the way so that you find the joy in the process. And then those ranks will just come with it because you are enjoying it. But if you put all of your like worth in that title is not going to be what makes you happy, because none of us are where we want to be. Like, all of us here are at different places in our business, and I guarantee all of us want to be further ahead than we are. So you still have to find joy at where you're at and find what you love about this business. Don't make it about the ranks and where you're at. Yeah, that stuff's important, and that's what we're pushing for, but you're not going to stay with it if that's the only thing you're going after.
It's funny too, Kim, because if you think about it, if we celebrated let's say you and me are in similar places.
Yeah.
If we celebrated now the way that we did when we first started, and we would get a comment on a picture that's like, hey, I want more info. It's like, what do I do? What do I send them? What do I say? You know, so like we've lost that joy in a way, you know, so you do have to get it back because it is exciting. So, and Rachel Hollis also kind of touched on that too, about how you have to celebrate along the way. Another cool thing that Rachel Hollis said that really stuck with me was she was talking about, she was like, you guys think it's hard? You think what you're doing is hard? These people on the floor, which are like your elite and top 10 coaches, she's like, they have to work 50 times harder than you do to even go an inch. Whereas you don't have to work as hard to get where they are. So it kind of put it into perspective, like, because you get into this rut where you just complain like it's hard, but what did you sign up for? Did you think it was going to be easy? And that was another thing Rachel Hollis talked about, was she was like, you know, you wanted this challenge for a reason. You can't expect for you to just coast through it. Like, it's going to be hard. So what are you going to do when it's hard? Are you going to give up, or are you going to keep going? So Rachel Hollis was amazing. If she comes to your guys' area to do any of her like Rise events, I know she just opened up a bunch of locations because she was in Dallas last week. But she was in freaking incredible. That alone was worth whatever the price of the summit ticket is right now. Like, yeah.
Yeah, I agree. What did you just say that I wanted to? Oh yeah, just with the people on the floor. Because how many times have me and Brenna have been like, it's easy for them. Like, they have so many followers. They have so many, like, all they have to do is say this and they get 50 coaches. But to like take their business to the next level and go from like number 7 to number 6, yeah, that's so hard. I can't even imagine. Like right now, I know to take my business to the next level, I want to run more ads. I want to like do a sneak peek, do a blog. Like, I have all these things that I can do yet to make my business grow further. What else do they have to do? They've done all those things. So it's true. I always think they have it easier, but we do. To get our businesses further, we have it easier. So that to me really like spoke to me too. Really changed my mindset on it.
If you guys ever need some good PD, I would recommend, and I think she has a podcast. I haven't looked it up, but Jade Simmons, she spoke. She was basically a pianist. Is that how you say it? That's how you say it. And she, a pianist, and she was like a motivational speaker, and she would do beats with her music and her message. I had tears in my thinking about it. Makes me emotional because the power that she had over you. And if you need someone to, and the way her voice carries, if you need someone to pump you up, go listen to some Jade Simmons. She's incredible.
It was incredible.
She said, I'm going to just read some of the things that I wrote down that she said. Purpose is not the thing that you do. It's the things that happen in others when you do what you do. We are transformation specialists. I thought that was interesting. Serve as a reflection of what people can do. So show people what the possibility is. And the seats will fill up with the people that are destined for you. So even if maybe your people right now, for example, my team that I had a year and a half ago is not the same team that I have today. So you have to realize that over time, more people will come, your people will come, you will find your people, which is how you become successful in this business. So just keep doing what you're doing and the seats will fill up with your people.
Yeah, I like that.
These are just, I'm going to say some random quotes to you because this type of stuff pumps me up. And so maybe you guys will too. So Rachel Hollis, Rachel Hollis didn't say this, but we all have a greatness inside of us, but some people need help unlocking it. I think I said this. No, I didn't say this. Doing the work is not hard. It's overcoming the negative self-talk that you have with yourself when you can't do it. So it's not the actual work that's hard at all. It's you in your head being like, oh my God, this is hard. I can't do this anymore. This sucks, or I'm tired. That overcoming those voices is what's hard, but the work is not.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, Melanie Mitro said that. I wrote that one down too.
Yeah. Do you want to change more than you want to stay the same? And it's so funny, guys, because when we all started, we probably all started for a health journey. Like we wanted to lose the weight or, you know, get in better shape. And now we're kind of all in those places. And now, because if I would have heard the quote, do you want to change more than you want to stay the same 2 years ago? It would have been like, I want to lose this baby weight. Da, 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 da. Now it's, I want to move my business forward and I want to, you know, keep growing and, you know, offer more things for myself. Yeah.
I like to, there are people whose lives won't be changed unless you listen to the vibrating inside you.
Yeah, I did like that one. Wanting it is not enough. Stop hoping that this will happen to you. Listen to the voice in your heart. Wanting it is not enough. You have to take action. You have to do something. So yeah. That's all I got.
Yeah.
Should we open it up for questions?
Yeah. Or if anyone else was there and wanted to add. Yeah, we got about 8 minutes left.
I have a question. This doesn't have to do with Summit though. Does anybody on here do any of the, like, ever been a certified trainer? You are? Do you do classes?
Oh my God. So it's so funny you asked this. So I did Insanity Max 30. Danielle Natoni was my trainer, instructor. I did it as more of a bucket list. I will tell you, I went to that thing and I was like, there is no way I could do it. It's hard. It is so hard. You have to like listen for cues in the music and jump around and cheer people on and do the moves and count. And I was just like, too much. But it's a really fun experience. And actually, I've been thinking about it. I was like, man, I should do that because I think it's a great way to connect with people.
Mm-hmm. So there's a Transform 21, like here in, like they're coming to like my town to train like August 3rd. And so I'm kind of, and we're opening up a gym. And so I was like, maybe I could teach a class, but it's not Insanity, but it's a Transform 20.
I think that would be fun because it's like a step. It's like,
yeah,
I would do it. I would do it. It's fun just to say you did it.
Okay.
That's
all I had.
Do you have to like pay a monthly fee to stay certified in it, Brenna?
So technically, yes. So the way it works is they get you. I can't really remember, and I think you basically pay for content. So when you do it, you get like that first month's content or something. But then if you want to keep it, they'll charge you like 20 some bucks every month. It is a tax write-off, but what they're doing is they're publishing more content for you. So every other month they come out with like what you would call a new track or whatever. And it's they post a video to like the certified trainers will post a video to your portal that instructs you like on the moves and how to do it. The class is just kind of like the basic overall and the first, I think they call it I don't even know. It's like one workout. And then a month passes, another one, they give you another one. So basically you have a library of different classes you could offer people. But I would do it.
I agree though. I think it's a good way to like personally connect with people
and man, if I could figure it out and have rhythm, I would have so much fun. Sarah's like laughing because she's like, oh God.
No, I have no rhythm either, so I totally get it. So that's what I'm a little nervous about.
Just do it. You'll meet a lot of people.
Is it that one lady that's always at our like local Super Saturday?
Yeah, I don't even know how to say her name, but it starts with an A.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. Angeli, yes.
Oh, it's that simple. Angeli. I don't know. There's a J in it and an I and I. I don't know. Yeah. Okay. Angeli,
yeah.
Hey, before we forget, I need to story this. So, like, can we all do a funny wave or something? I don't know if you guys do that stuff.
Yeah, we do that stuff sometimes.
Like a paint can.
All right.
Okay. Okay, sorry, I got us distracted. Questions? If you don't put it on the gram, it didn't happen, right?
Absolutely. I still haven't used that shirt. I bought a shirt from Kohl's that said I did it for the gram, and I'm waiting for a good, like, I need a good environment to take a picture in, and I need a good post for it. But I bought that shirt for a post, simply for a post.
I mean, I say you wait until being in New Orleans next year for Summit, my hometown, and make a silly post here.
Oh, I love it.
There are many places I could get you into to get you in a little bit of trouble just for Instagram. It's fine.
Oh, it's too funny.
Okay, I don't know if you can explain this in 4 minutes or not, but how do you dig deep into a post without being like so long-winded? Because I feel like if people have long posts, I'm less likely to read them. So, you know, how do you paint a picture story and then not be like, okay, here's a book?
You want me to give you my opinion on that? Who cares? Because there are people, no, because that's your own doubts thinking nobody wants to read this. And that's not true. That's not true at all. Like, the people that don't read it, they might not be interested, but they're not your people. But you will have people that read your posts. And even if they don't like them or comment on them or whatever, they're reading it. So your problem there is that you think that because it's too long, nobody wants to read it. That's not.
Yes, that's a good point. As long as you have enough breaks in it, you know, because if they're huge long paragraphs, no. But as long as it's like aesthetically pleasing for people, they will. Because I remember back when I was considering coaching, I read every single word that Ashley put on her post, every single word. I never liked a single one. I never commented on a single one. And I had no objections. I was like, I want to coach. Like, you know, when people are interested, they will read what you have to say. Absolutely. I totally agree with that.
Yeah, you're right. I guess because I think I read everything of yours too, Kim, before. And now it's like, oh, no, I kind of breezed past, but I think it's because so like
totally fine. I agree. I do the same. I'm like, up too long. Now I'm not going to read it. But yeah, when you're interested, you're going to read it all. Totally.
Because what is everybody doing except scrolling and reading other people's posts anyways?
Oh, it motivates me everywhere I go. At lunch, when I walk out the lunchroom and everyone's scrolling, I'm like, I got to go get to work right now.
Exactly.
That's the thing, you guys. We're so trained that we can't like waste our time scrolling, and it's a waste of time that we think, well, everybody else thinks that too. But everybody else, my husband included, Kim's husband, literally just scroll, and that's all they do. And you're totally right. When I go out in public and I see people on Instagram, I'm like, she could be looking at my post, you know?
Yep. Awesome. Well, it's going to kick us off, so we will call it a night.
Bye, guys.
Thanks for all being here. Have a good night. We'll talk to you later.